putting off important tasks even though you know you should be doing them. Any single time you start making progress in the gym, you stop going. You set unrealistic standards for yourself and refuse to do anything unless it's perfect. You're literally standing in the way of your own progression. If somebody else was out here flaking on you like this, you would probably think that they hate you. So why are we treating ourselves like this? One thing that isn't discussed enough is that yes, when you're trying to become the dream version of yourself, you need to put in all the work and you need to be disciplined, but also you need to work on yourself internally so that when you do finally get into a good space or start receiving all of the things that you dreamt of, you feel secure enough in yourself that you don't then start to sabotage them. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing all of the unique forms of self-sabotage that a lot of the time you probably don't even realize that you're doing, and then all of the ways that you can overcome them to stop self-sabotaging in your life. Chapter number 1, signs you are standing in your own way and committing self-sabotage and you might not even know it. Number 1 is your actions don't match your truth, aka you are not where you want to be because every single day you are feeding the life that you don't want. Most of the time, this form of self-sabotage is rooted in a lack of self-trust. You don't trust that you have the ability to achieve the things that you want to, or that they're too hard or too frustrating, so you make the process of it sound exhausting before you even try, which ends up being this vicious cycle of wanting to do things but never quite mustering up the courage to go and do them. Sign number 2 is you always avoid the right direction. I personally think actively pushing away the things that could help you grow is the biggest form of self-sabotage. You are literally cutting off your own lifeline when you are telling yourself you want to succeed. This form of self-sabotage is definitely a difficult one, and the reason that we will avoid going to therapy or avoid having the difficult conversations that is going to help us develop as a person is because our subconscious, and this is true for literally everyone, this is not a you problem, is so addicted to and attached to the familiarity of the life that we've had so far that it has difficulty just comprehending trying to be someone else or living a different life. There's a lot of fear around that, and it just wants things to stay the same all the time. And if you don't actively work on shifting your subconscious and visualizing your dream life and really making that your new normal and your new familiarity, then your subconscious is always going to ground you and take you back to where you were before, which then manifests as self-sabotaging in your real physical life. Sign number 3, you believe everything will fail or everything is hard and nothing comes easy. And so that is the result that you keep on receiving. This is basically a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. You are manifesting your own struggles because of the way you talk to yourself, because of the way that you perceive and think about the world, and therefore the energy that you are radiating and giving every single day. This shows up as starting a new project or going out to meet new people, and instead in the back of your mind you are thinking, what if this goes wrong? What if they don't like me? What if I fail? What if everybody sees me trying and then it doesn't even work, or I don't make money doing it? You haven't even done the thing yet and you already have so many negative expectations, which eventually will be your downfall. And while I appreciate a lot of the time we cannot control our first thoughts because it's our subconscious and it's just natural feelings and emotions that are coming up, you can control your second and your third thought. You can shift it into something more positive and more abundant to make sure that you are showing up in the right energy in your life to manifest the results that you actually want, rather than setting yourself up for failure. And lastly, sign number 4 that you are giving some self-sabotage in your own life and need to cut it out is chronic indecision. Your inability to make decisions can keep you stuck in this toxic cycle of analysis paralysis. And while you are stuck in doing all of this overthinking and every single thing you're going to do in your life, somebody else has taken that idea and they are already doing it. They are halfway in the process to achieving that thing while you are still thinking about whether you can even do it. And it's not your fault. You don't know that it's wrong and you don't know that it's holding you back because in your mind it's a form of self-protection. You don't want to waste your time, you don't want to make the wrong decision, you don't want to go down the wrong path, but all of those things you don't want to do are ultimately sabotaging your process because in order to win you need to try and you need to fail. And by the way, if you're struggling with this, I have an entire podcast episode on failure that's really going to help you shift your mindset on this. The irony of this type of self-sabotage is that by refusing to make a decision, you are making a decision, which is the decision to not move forward. Okay, enough of making you feel bad about yourself. We are not about that over here. So let's move on to chapter number 2, which is the cause of your self-sabotage. Because once you identify the cause, you can work backwards from it and undo all of that damage to become the best version of yourself. Now, you could say there are so many different causes of self-sabotage: perfectionism, negative core beliefs, insecurities, the need for external validation, blah, blah, blah. We hear all of this information all of the time, but I believe there's actually only one cause of self-sabotage which is true for everybody. And it's the fear of being hurt, also known as trigger avoidance. When you have a painful memory or wound from when you were younger, let's say this painful memory for you is asking for help from other people, and the pain around that action was being shut down, being made to feel stupid, being ignored, being betrayed, not having trust in anybody, that pain will then translate into self-sabotaging as an adult when you then decide you have to do everything by yourself, everything falls on your shoulders, you cannot trust anybody else to rely on them, and you end up self-sabotaging in this way because your subconscious believes that if you were to display that same action again, you will then be shut down in the same way and you will receive the same amount of pain and the same response once again, which of course is not true, but this is what happens when we're hurt and we have certain traumas. And so then because you don't work on this subconscious belief, that then translates into you pushing people away and you don't even know why, and feeling like you're not good enough. Another example of this main cause trigger avoidance as to why you self-sabotage is, let's say you got heartbroken by somebody that you just love and trusted so much. That emotional turmoil and the emotional distress that you went through in that situation forces you to protect yourself so you never have to go through it again. So your self-sabotage then looks like you putting walls up, pushing good people away, not being able to be vulnerable, having trust issues with almost everybody in your life, being overly judgmental to other people to push them away and make excuses as to why they can't be in your life and why you can't lean on them. And all of those behaviors boil down to the action of supporting the core negative belief that love hurts. Love is painful. It's not easy. You can't have it. It always results in pain. And that is true for any painful situation that you've been through. So then it might be that vulnerability is wrong, or I am not academically smart, or people don't love me. We all have this negative core belief no matter what traumatic situation that we went through, which then forms as self-sabotaging as we grow up. It's exactly why whenever you get a good opportunity or find a good person, you can't trust it, because your subconscious is telling you it's too good to be true. There must be something wrong with it. This person is out to get you. And so now you have to find the flaws in that person or the negative side of that situation to support the limiting beliefs that you've had in your subconscious all throughout your life. That leads us onto chapter number 3, the solutions, aka the homework for this video. Everything you can do practically and actionably to break out of your self-sabotaging habits. Step number 1 is fall in love with your suffering. Yes, you heard that right. Because we know that the main cause of self-sabotaging is trying to avoid pain, trying to get away from the painful consequences that we lived through when we were younger, and then doing the actions to make sure that we don't have to go through it again. And so the opposite of that, and the solution to overcoming this entire toxic cycle of back and forth, is to instead embrace the pain. And I know that might sound really weird and really dumb in your opinion, but think about it. Painful experiences are always catalysts for growth. Think about it this way. The last hard situation that you just got through, do you think you 5 years ago would have been able to do that? No, because all of the knowledge and all of the emotional experience that you have gained through every challenge you've gone through in this life has equipped you to deal with your most recent ones. The first time that you went through a friendship breakup or got betrayed by somebody, you then knew what standards to set and what to look out for in all of the friendships that you made a few years later. It makes you stronger and wiser. It's literally the purpose of life. And that links to my next point, which is that pain gives us so much clarity and so much information about what we want in our lives. If somebody has pushed you away, if you have failed academically, it helps you regroup your thoughts and think, does this matter for me? Do I want to run head first into this situation again, or do I want to direct my attention somewhere else? And on this subject of embracing your suffering and falling in love with it, I have to talk about the power in being disliked. I used to run away from this so much, and I used to mirror other people or people please to make sure that people didn't think I was this villain, or that they couldn't be friends with me, or that they didn't like me, or that I was a no. I love being disliked because it directs me to the people that are actually meant for me. I will show up so authentically and so effing cringy because if you dislike me, great, you are doing me a favor. It's that sort of pain that you need to come to terms with, and the way that you do it is by growing this detachment. It's about always knowing that everything is going to work out for you. It's also about understanding that your past mistakes or whatever you're going through right now does not define you or define which way your life is going to go. And when you think about it that way, of course you're going to put yourself in relationships. Of course you're going to open yourself up to new experiences, no matter how obviously scary they're going to be. And of course with every situation comes the possibility of a heartbreak or pain or failure, but you know that's just going to help you grow and become a better person. It is never something to run away from. This links into solution number 2, which is to surrender control, which of course links back into detachment. See, self-sabotaging and this entire cycle of supporting your limiting beliefs is addictive, and you like doing it because it gives you a sense of control with every situation you go through. If things are always matching these core beliefs that you have about the way that the world works or how people are, it allows you to predict how things are going to end. But the thing is, uncertainty is normal, and it's the best part about life, because when nothing is uncertain, that means everything and anything is possible. While yes, there's always a side that things can crumble and go badly and fail, because it's uncertain, there's also an amazing possibility that things could turn out better than you could have ever imagined. And when you finally master the mindset and the feeling of becoming comfortable with the fact that you will never have all of the answers to everything, you will then more likely to have the courage to be able to try new things without falling into this trap of perfectionism or needing to have it all worked out or being stuck in this place of analysis paralysis. Remember that the most uncertainty is always a step outside of your comfort zone, and the second that you go to that place, all you're gonna get is confidence and expansion. And the final solution for overcoming your self-sabotage is probably my favorite, and it's to practice visualization. Because think about it, every single time you self-sabotage, you are doing that because before you complete the self-sabotaging action, you have imagined, oh my God, this is gonna go really, really bad, or oh my God, this person's gonna break my heart, and you are seeing this negative consequence play out in your mind, which then motivates you to then push it away or do the thing that's not actually serving you. So what if we replace that with you cutting out that first initial scary feeling or thought and building on those second and third thoughts that can actually benefit us, which is then visualizing, this is gonna go better than I could have ever imagined. Everything is always working out for me in my favor. Visualization literally helps you rewire your brain to only see the positive outcomes. And I have always said that visualization is something that I practice every single day. I kid you not, guys, it's in my morning routine, it's in my daily to-do list. I will not let a day go by where I do not practice visualization, because it's such a powerful tool that has contributed to so much of my success and helped me overcome my number one obstacle and my number one self-sabotage when I was first starting out on social media, which was self-doubt, which held me back so many times. But when I started visualizing things going my way and me actually succeeding and me not needing to doubt myself but being the most confident version of myself, it gave me the confidence and courage to actually chase my goals, to actually give it everything that I got, because I could already see it being a reality in my head. And so I could not recommend but practice that, even if it's for 60 seconds every single day. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been a requested video for so long and I've always looked forward to filming it. So please comment down below and let me know what your favorite part of this video was, or if you're going to take something from it, or most importantly, which solution / homework you are going to start practicing from this, because I would love to know. Don't forget that my new book, Buy Yourself the Damn Flowers, which is available on Amazon, also has homeworks after every single chapter in the book, like multiple homeworks to make sure that you are being accountable on your journey and actually making significant, effective progress. And if you're still watching, comment the word blueberry down below in the comment section to confuse everybody else that didn't get to this part of the video. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you same time next week on Friday for a brand new video. Bye!